that is probably the perfect example of schooling, connections, who you know.
I want to end it on that bombshell and this little bit of corruption that just shits your life.
South Africa, hashtag SA.
They just proved that live that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
He did apply.
It was the process.
It was the process.
You had to work hard to get there. So we can all I just want us all to announce sort of what schools we came from. So I went to Berkvliet,
One was our school.
Boys
Fishhoek.
and Fishhoek.
What's your thing?
I'm a super Moraz.
Super Moras.
Yeah.
Super Moras.
How does that song go again?
Super Moraz.
I don't know. No, stop. I was just wanted to check if you knew it. But you all guys all sing it. You guys sing it till like 50, 60 years
Yeah,
old.
that's the last words they say before they say bye.
Yeah. That's actually how they end their prayers before they eat.
Because it reminds us, tough times never last.
So I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys feel, firstly, that your school affects basically the rest of your life in terms of socially and as well as job opportunities? Does it? And then I want to ask you guys sort of how does it? And I want to ask you in particular first. How has going to Wynberg Boys as a man of color changed your life socially and job opportunity wise to maybe people that you know of that that didn't have the same opportunity?
Okay, let me start on the fact of color, my person of color. Back in the days, it was still a new thing for black people of color going to Wynberg, but it obviously I wasn't the first. People were there since 94, 95, 96. Obviously, rugby-wise, it was just obviously the new crop playing. And before me, it was obviously guys like Tilden Bungani. I don't know if you guys remember him, but anyway. But socially, it's obviously you get given that tie, all boys tie. Then you in that all boys union, OBU. So then obviously you go to these events. Only went to one, never go again, for obvious reasons. I was only person of color there, but anyway, rugby always watch a Sax game, Wynberg Sax games. Arguably,
but when I say social, I don't just mean like within the school frame.
Okay.
I mean like just in general. Would you have been surrounded with the same sort of friends and people if you maybe would have gone to a different school,
like a co-ed?
Not even like a like a co-ed, but also as a less advantage.
Stature,
you know what I mean?
For me, obviously, like I can speak for myself only, like my own experiences. After high school, I left. I went to Stellenbosch, Stellenbosch Province Institute, Province 19, and moved to George, moved to PE, and so forth. So for me, it was just different.
Yeah.
And come down, and obviously it was hanging around with Wayne and them, man, not cool.
Yes, cool.
But other than that, not really to go on from my side.
Yeah.
So, From you, Wayne, what do you guys?
Yeah, I think socially, I mean, it's different environments. I'll start from a social perspective. I think socially, I think it depends on what you make of it as a person as well, man. Personally, I think you can choose to either still stay within that social environment. You will have one or two of the mates that you've schooled with, whether you started in grade 5 or grade 9 and 10. There will still be will still be good mates. But then socially after school, once you realize that, my bro,
everyone splits.
Everyone does their own thing. There's a mission. Everyone's on their own mission. Everyone has their own goal. Everyone wants to achieve what they want to achieve. I think that's where you kind of start to find yourself. There will be maybe one or two mates that will hang around, but there's nothing wrong with those moving on. But socially, I think it all depends on the individual and what they make of it, man. I mean, I've got from all of my Fishhoek mates. I mean, Fishhoek is quite the valley.
Yeah.
And everyone knows the valley.
Yeah.
But there's a, like you still socialize with some of the same guys that you've been in school with. And I've seen like some Weinberg Oaks as well. Falls Bay is probably the haven of it. They Oaks are still chilling around with the same guys that they've been in
social
school with.
environment from rugby.
So from a rugby
Talking about
perspective,
it, yeah,
that's
I
where
think
things
rugby
gets more.
has an even bigger effect.
Yes.
Effect on where your social
Schooling.
life goes to.
Even with
That-
work
that
as,
as
even
well.
with work as well. I heard people play for Bay, got work while they were at the Bay. I'm
So
not gonna mention any names because I don't think they
yeah.
want me to mention any names. But I mean,
Yeah.
a few people.
So moving into the rugby now, I think it's only because we've seen it where guys go to certain schools and they get selected over preference selection. One obviously mentioned names
must
as well,
change. That
but
must change.
that is how I personally feel. That is how the system is, and I've always said this. This is just my belief. My kids won't go to Fishhoek. They will go to
If
a
you want
school.
your kid to
to-
be in the Bok team one day or have the opportunity to even try and be in there, can't go to Fishhoek, my
Or
brother.
just play sport at a level that they could see themselves be competitive. Not
Yeah.
necessarily they have to go and make the Springbok side, but at least be accredited
But for
to
them
your talents
to
at
be
that
able
level.
to have that dream.
So we both coached at Fishhoek last year, first team, eh? Remember?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not much people. I mean, they're all good players. I mean,
Yeah, like
I'm not gonna mention.
individuals.
I don't know if you want to mention the names, but I mean, individuals were good enough. One of them is actually playing for Curry Cup under 19 now.
Cheetahs, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so-
So they are. I mean, there's also one of the flowers for Weinberg is from Fishhoek as well, and he was here a couple of years ago or a year ago. A lot of the Oaks had. So I'm not. It's not gonna be like I don't want to make it a Fishhoek Weinberg thing, but this in the rugby community, the schooling does influence.
Yeah.
But there is a poacher. I don't know if you know his name.
Who?
Don't mention his name if you know who I'm talking about. The colour guy.
Just cut that part out.
I'm just trying to describe him, bro.
No, we just-
But he,
But
you
also,
know,
so-
he poaches
so-
kids and sends them to Hamburg.
I'll tell you guys a
No,
story,
you're right.
which was mad, right? So at Berkeley, there were a couple of us that went to province trials.
Mm.
There were three of us. It was myself, Nick, and Tsepo, right?
Chipo, went to
Nedwa Mutsu.
Nedwa Mutsu.
Yeah,
He's
he was a
overseas
Berkeley
now.
boy.
Zimbabwe.
He's a Berkeley boy.
Did you play for Hammies?
He was
No.
Zimbabwean.
He stopped playing
Oh.
after school.
Okay, then another
He
Chipo.
decided to become a lawyer.
Oh, nice.
But
What
basically,
law?
the three of us, I don't know, I haven't seen him or spoke to him in ages. But the three of us went to Province Stars, and the first game you had, the first couple of trials you had the boys' schools players in one team,
Mhm.
and you had the other schools
In
The-
in another team.
The other school.
Yeah, the other schools in another team. The second week, this was at on the field there.
Balvo.
No. That was out when we got to
Balvo was the
Province
last
Southern.
section.
round.
Yeah.
Last round. We met at Balvo.
So
Bad times.
then the next game, the next trial, it was again the boys' school bunch that made it through,
Mm.
and the rest of the school's bunch that made it through, both in separate teams.
Mm.
I think it was the third round where I was the only non-boys school player that made it into that team. The only one on the third round. The rest of them were still there. At this point, Nick had dropped out,
Mm.
and it was just myself and Tsepo.
Oh,
So
the Royals
Tsepo's
still there.
Tsepo was there, but he still played in the non-boys schools,
Mm.
and I played with the boys schools at 9.
Mm.
Then we went to Bellville and we were doing Province Southern's A versus Southern's B.
Southern's B and
Yeah,
that, yeah.
it was Southern's A versus Northern's A, and then Southern's B versus Northern's B.
Mm.
Tsepo and I were two of the guys that made it into the Southern's A side,
Mm.
and there was a third guy that was, so the three of us, and he was from Swanswyk. It was a outside center. The three of us were the only guys, non-boys school
Non-boys
guys, that was in that Province Southern's A side.
Yeah.
Believe you me, right? That game, in all the other trials, I thought I was falling out. I thought I was dropping out.
Mm.
That game, Southern's A versus Northern's A, I thought I had the best game of my life.
Yeah.
Bro, I got a cuck ball off the line out. It's playing 9 now. Cuck ball off the line out with the ball's bobbling there. I picked it up, right? And everybody's just drifting because now Fly's under pressure, the whole back line's under pressure. But I checked the winger, the blindside winger coming through from a blindside. I gave the ball like that. I gave the ball through around the back like that to him. He ran straight through the middle of the line out and went to go score under the post. The whole crowd was just sitting there. They were like, "Oh my god, did that just happen?"
Yeah,
Wild,
bro.
Select him.
Mad thing.
Intense. The nine that was
Give him a
playing opposite
contract.
me, right? Apparently, and this is what I heard after the game, is he'd already signed the things. And
I was about to say after your
But-
statement.
Yeah.
But myself and Tipo, actually, because Tipo was a flank, we broke his ribs that game. Because he got the ball off the scrum, it popped to him, and instead of running out, he stepped
He
back
carried
in.
in.
Dead. Yeah. Feel it, son. Like, we hit him like this as he stepped in, and he just went like
Yeah, one of that.
off the field.
One of that slices.
And I got told after the game, look, you were really good, but that boy he's already got the thing.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
And I said, but
They'll make comments inside.
what's going on?
Well,
Where is he
could
going
you-
now? He's going to
yeah.
hospital now.
Did you not watch the game?
Yeah.
Let me
I
explain
said,
how
nah.
it works there, bro. Some guys have already got contracts from playing grade 11 or in matric
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
classic classes and stuff.
Yeah.
Get given contracts or like a money
yeah.
stipend or whatever before. And some of them have agents as well. The agents, they're chilling there,
They're all
speaking to the
talking.
coaches.
Yeah.
Everyone knows each other. I
Yeah.
promise you.
Yeah.
Same with my
Yeah.
year. Everyone knew each other. That same team played since under 13 Craven Week. Played in under Craven Week as well, under 18.
And they just move, and there's
And
just one or
19,
two
and
players that
yeah.
come in and out, eh?
Yeah.
Bro.
And that's all because of what school you went
Cool,
to.
yeah.
But what's
There
nice,
were
but
light
the thing is,
things
what's nice in this, I think there's 3 or 4 teams now, province.
Yeah.
Craven Week. Province, and there's
Oh,
obviously
is it?
province 15, and I think it's province A or something. I think last year was province A, and there were 3
Yeah.
teams,
Yeah.
Craven Week. Now I think there's 2 teams now.
Well,
Is that
bro,
like a
on-
New Zealand team and then the Maori team, like
because
that
there's so
sort of
much
a...
talent
There's
in
talent,
in
yeah.
the area.
But also they need to have more junior competitions for all these youngsters. There's so much talent. Like our talent pool is insane, bro. It's probably one of the hardest countries with so much competition.
Yeah.
So they need to have more junior competitions to get to see more of the. But I have my work colleague, her son goes to the NNK academy, and he was at the trials as well. And there was a dispute between the selection of him and another flank, and the flank is maybe a hit taller than him. But when it comes to like the way that he plays, he is more influential as a player than that other guy. But this kid is at, I think it's like at some all boys school. And they were like, nah, you didn't make it this year. And he's under 12. You didn't make it this year, but just keep working. We are looking at you.
But he is in the system, as they will say.
Yeah,
In the
so
system.
like, we are watching you, but we're going to go with him.
Yeah.
So now you look, how you think, you 12 years old, you know you better. Next year, you don't even have a list to go because you know that guy's going to be there again anyway.
Because of external circumstances.
Exactly. But now,
What's circumstances?
No, I'm not gonna say
Talk us through it.
No,
Give us the
but
tea there.
listen. So when I was first time at Berkeley, right, and I was going through my my trial vibes, there were I think it was 3 or 4 players of our under 16 team that got poached. They got poached by the one kid got poached by Grey.
Wouldn't one go to
and
Saks?
The one went to Saks.
Yeah, I remember playing against
the
him.
other one also 2 went to Saks. 2 went to Saks. There was a 8th man
And you one
and
center-ish,
and a
wingish.
fullback center.
Yeah.
He actually ended up
played
going
for
for the
Falcon.
Bulls.
Not Pelo.
He's a colored guy. He
No, no,
played
no,
for
no,
the
no.
Bulls and then...
Pelo went to
Oh,
Grey.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the guy who plays for Hammies now.
Yes.
Outside center.
Yeah, it's
inside
him.
center playing for.
It's him.
He played with me in Province, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Leighton
Leighton van Wyk.
Van Wyk.
Yeah.
Played
He
against
ended
him.
up. He was at Bulls for a while, and then he was injured, but he got fucking massive as well
Guys, he
compared
got
to.
massive.
But they got poached during that time. Yeah, brother. I was the same age, but I was in grade 11. And I told, nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Hey?
So it was all 16. So I went, because I went to school a year earlier,
Yeah.
I was part of them. But what's his name? I think it was Pelo. He went to.
But you
went
would
to
have,
Sarai.
if they
Pelo
offered
went to
you the opportunity, you would have gone.
You think my dad would have said, "No, my boy, you're not going"?
You go.
No, brother, I'd have gone.
You
Of course
go,
I would have
bro.
gone.
Look at your year, ne? His year, ne? You had Reezy,
Justin
Scott, all the Stadler,
Yeah.
all of them from Fisher.
Fisher.
One Delius and Bonza was a year before.
Yeah.
A couple of all from Fisher, Sun Valley, Tyler Reichhardt, all the boys. Fisher, Sun Valley, all moved over.
And good rugby players as well.
Good rugby
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
bro. Good craft. And that year, that under 12, under 13 year, I think the whole, probably half of that Fisher team and maybe a few of the Sun Valley team, all of those Oaks could have played for either Wynberg, Saxon, or the Bosch first team.
True.
That's how good it was on that
That's
side,
true.
bro.
That's true.
It
Because
was
there's
mad
still
talent
Simon,
pool.
there's Simon, Tyler,
Yeah.
and obviously Justin.
Carl Kun, he went
Carl
up,
Kun,
he
yeah,
left,
Carl Kun,
he
yeah.
went somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Byron
Byron
Compton.
Compton as well.
Yeah.
He was big, same size since
Yeah.
11 age.
So there was,
Jeez.
it does prove you, it does influence your career in sport.
Yeah.
Yes, we've seen it, and I purely believe that it does.
Nah, listen,
It's
it's
just,
not
there's
even.
just too much proof.
It's not
in the
even a thing
pudding.
of belief. It's not even
There's
a thing
proof
of
in the
belief.
pudding, boy.
It definitely changes like how you are seen in the sporting fraternity. But it's also, do you guys think that maybe they feel that yes, you are talented, and yes, you may one day be able to make it, but you are talented within a less talented pool of players.
Environment.
But okay, that's where it comes in terms of having a rugby culture or the environment. So obviously at Wynberg, it came later on than from Paul. Obviously they were well established, and Wynberg came later on with Craig Charles being our director of rugby after when we left.
Yeah.
Something that should be done now with Fisher High School. There needs to be
So
a
when we
director of
were there,
rugby.
when we were there, we tried to implement. I mean, obviously, we were brought in quite late, but we obviously tried to kind of. But when
Okay,
you
they
have
got us a bad card, dog.
when you when you've got when you've got like
They weren't a bad.
18 players, 19 players at practice. It's very hard.
Sometimes at the game we had 16 players.
Yeah.
And one guy on the bench.
Yeah, we had a prop and hooker.
Yeah.
Just one player playing prop and hooker.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was tough. It was tough. And look, we must also think it was COVID at the time. But like rugby culture is a big thing.
Yeah,
It
so now, for
was-
example, it's the director of rugby, okay, I'm probably going to speak badly now. I don't like doing this.
Yes.
I'm not that type of person, but like for example, director of rugby at Fisher is not a rugby person, for example. So now they need to implement someone who's going to have that, why am I saying the name? But anyway, it doesn't matter. There's someone who has that
Follows
rugby,
drive.
yeah, that drive and obviously an understanding of the culture. Obviously, he's been through the system and understands professional rugby and obviously implement it to the kids as well.
Kids.
But
Was
even at Berkeley, that's where things went
You're
from
selling
as well.
yourself.
It's because there was a gentleman for a long period of time at Berkeley, and I've seen some really good players come out.
What
of
was his
Berkeley.
name again?
Mr. Buerta.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm talking
Mr.
about
Porter.
Mr.
Who was your one
Buerta.
coach? He was your one coach. He used to
Rather-
coach at Fisher as well.
Are you talking about coaches now? No, I'm talking about the head of
rugby.
he's the
Okay.
former head of rugby, Mr. Buerta, and that put to this day, like I'm in a group with him and former Berkeley rugby boys. He's a rugby boy kid to this day. To this day, and he's
Yeah.
retired already. Doesn't teach anymore, any of that. But where I saw things going down was when he obviously stepped down as head of rugby, and we had sort of a head of sport that was more into cricket, and then all of a sudden
Cricket came up.
cricket we got we were the first school in South Africa to have floodlights for
I
day and
remember
night
that.
games.
That's
Yeah.
hashtag SGB.
Yeah.
The governing body. But there's all the kids. So the kid who play first team for the money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know, there's a new
We must had
cricket,
we
cricket
must play-
scoreboard, and I played cricket, bro. So I
Yeah.
played first team cricket as well, and I saw these things happening, and I was like,
Yeah.
clearly
Yeah.
there's a discrepancy over here between
Yeah.
rugby and cricket. I'm not saying it's
It's
necessarily a bad thing, or not. I'm not blaming any individual, but you see it. on
Yeah,
a-
no.
like you literally see it physically around you
Mm.
happening, and that all happened when Mr. Botha stepped down from being
Yeah.
head of rugby. Since then, rugby's gone down to the
Mm.
point where
Fisher doesn't want to play.
parents,
Fisher doesn't want to play Berkeley anymore.
yeah,
Serious.
Fisher doesn't want to play Berkeley
Since
anymore.
when? Since the last game.
Since last, yeah, there was.
Oh,
they said
yeah.
it's so bad now. They want to Fisher wants to play Stellenbosch High School.
Yeah, they're moving there to that as a derby. But this is my thing. What sport in SA brings the most when it comes to like media, attracts supporters, people watch the most? What sport in SA is it? It's rugby.
that's
So
rugby.
obviously you mentioned those three factors. All those three factors is rugby, as you mentioned, guys mentioned.
Yes.
Rugby.
That's so I understand you want to push netball, you want to push hockey, you want to push swimming. Cool. Let Redem deal with that. Let Redem deal with the swimming. Let other things deal with hockey. But if your foundation of your school's been rugby, then why don't you work it off that? Because that is where you're getting more attraction
'Cause
to your school.
It's also
You need to
it's-
look at what attracts the school. You think how many? If you're gonna push netball, you're only gonna be attracting people that are attracted in that netball sense. Yes, you must obviously push academics, which is your standard.
Well, that's where
But-
Berkeley went wrong, is that they started pushing academics. This is just my opinion.
But it's not a bad
It's-
thing
it's
though.
not a
Because the
bad
main
thing
thing is
as
that's
well.
No,
academics.
no,
Let
no,
the
no,
main
no,
thing
no,
stay
no.
the main thing.
Yeah,
But
ye-
schools are
100%.
businesses.
Academics.
Nowadays.
I'm a man that will say, yeah, today I'll sit here and say, I wish I studied harder. I wish I did better at school. I wish I did better at academics
all of
rather
us.
than play sport, because I don't know. Later in life, I'll be like, you know what? Should have
Yeah.
gotten that law degree. but at the same time, the pivotal role that sport has played within my life, it's literally talk about what
After
your school
school.
does for you, not
Yes.
just what your school does for you, what sporting circles does for you.
After
I had
school.
after school.
Yeah, for
I had
after school,
two
yeah.
options. I was asked by guys, former Berkeley guys, to come to Claremont Cricket Club and play cricket for them, and then
Yes, you play cricket as well.
I was
Yeah,
first
yeah,
team
yeah,
cricket, first team rugby.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
okay. Sorry.
Talent, bro.
No, bro.
Talent, bro. Athlete.
Athlete, but now ish.
Opening bowler.
Life's good.
Sana
Opening
Makala.
Hey.
That's good. That's good.
Hey, bro, I'm 30 years old. Leave me alone.
You guys both 30. I'm still one more year and then
Yeah, then you'll see.
Yeah, we're back
Downhill,
settings.
knees are starting to clicky now.
Rather.
Only now.
Wait till you wake up the next day, my
bro.
friend.
Whenever I walk, my knees sound like they're talking Venda, bro.
I got a new
It's closer
patella,
than
so I'm Gucci for now.
Yeah. No,
Good
but
luck, my
seriously.
brother.
I hope it's
That's
good.
why's panicking. He's like, yo.
He is
Hey,
that
bro.
bad. Yeah.
Some muti wound things.
Some I'm a Vaseline.
The baseline.
Hey.
The good old.
But Chopper,
Wait, can I ask you guys a question? Completely off topic. And I've been wanting to ask people this for a while. We obviously all men of darker skin color, right?
dark
cream.
skin color.
I know where this going, bro.
Cream is a must. Like you
Uh,
cannot not put cream on.
You have to, my bro.
You will look like a dust cloud.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you guys how you put cream on. Do you guys put your clothes on first, and then cream, and then it's the valid question,
valid question.
and then
Uh,
cream the open
open
spots,
spots, yeah.
or do you stand kalgat
Kal.
or in your undies and cream everywhere
okay.
first,
And
and
then
then put your
dress.
clothes on?
Okay, I'll answer it first.
Answer truthfully.
Okay, no, truthfully, I used to obviously wear clothes and the spots that are open.
Orkies.
Because like when you're rushing for work and stuff, you
Yeah,
quick.
quick.
But then after a while, when you come back or we have to change of clothes, you have to do sports. Some knees are showing.
And now there's shorties
People
laughing here.
People laughing. Hey, don't you have money to have fly cream? Is garbage. Say, why
Did you ever do that?
No, I've never done that. He's exposing himself.
I've
Yes,
had to.
I've had to do that, bro.
No,
I've had to
never,
do
bro, never.
I've had to do that.
But nowadays, just knees, hands, knees. You know that Zambak? What's
Yeah,
it?
hands,
knees,
elbows,
heels, and elbows.
Yeah.
Ingrams protects hands.
And you? Yeah.
Me, cream whole body first, my
Cream
boy.
whole body.
100% is very vital. I take my that is on. I lather the skin.
That's why he
back.
was late here today.
It
Because
has.
hey,
It's bro. I don't know. It's you can feel the difference with your. You sort of feel the way that the clothes were
it's
ironed
moisture.
if you don't have the cream on. Because now it feels like your skin sandpaper and now it's rubbing. But if it's moist, then it's like a chill. It's rustig.
That's why this man is always late, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Mate, bro.
Well, it's on
You
time
gotta
for
look
him.
after the
I
skin,
know.
boy.
But hey, Melanin, you always look good.
It's
eh?
vital, brother.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't do that whole skin thing, like my whole body in cream, because there are spots which no individual will ever see that I don't need creamed. you know what I mean? Like now you putting cream on your chest,
Your knees.
tummy, and
Knees.
so I will
You
do.
don't
I will
cream knees?
do. Of course,
Legs?
I will do full legs. I'll do
Chest, stomach,
full-
neck.
Hi,
what you
Ella,
do.
ne, nooit.
Hey?
Ai,
I will do full
Ah,
legs
Kani.
because you never know how short that short is.
Yeah.
And I'll do
Yeah, nah,
full
that's-
arms,
That's
and I'll do face,
Face.
and you know, neck area. But chest, yeah. Nah, bro. No. I don't. That's a waste of cream. Now I must buy another bottle of cream because
After a month.
I cream my stomach, which nobody saw
stuff
for
is
2 weeks.
expensive nowadays. I would know this since I'm a financial
Look
advisor.
at
I would
you.
know all this stuff.
Look at you. Nah, bro.
Expensive, bro.
I cream, boy.
No, obviously, but
Do what
those
you gotta
whole
do.
body. The
So-
wand is always there.
Full body is vital, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vital.
Back to topic. So we spoke about the social vibe, and we spoke about the job opportunity vibe within a sports circle. Now, the one thing I do want to ask you guys is, outside of sport, the job opportunity thing. Do you feel that the school you went to affects that particular instance? Say because nowadays you know it's not always what you know.
It's not who you know.
No, it's not now.
I didn't
It's
even-
always been like that.
I
We
didn't even
just-
need to finish the sentence. You guys just knew.
But the thing
We
is, I've
just
been
realized it.
studying for like nearly 10 years of tertiary education, but I promise you, like when you go to interviews and stuff, I know you did, I heard you did this, that, and that, but I don't talk about your education. Education only comes at the end.
At the
Yeah.
end, yeah. When they have to make the final decision, then they're like,
100%.
okay, I
Is
see
the guy
he went
competent
here, he went there. Is he
Competent
competent enough?
yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know somebody, and I'm not gonna mention their names because they've got a business, right? But I know this for a fact that the men that get hired in the office are only from boys' schools
Yeah, no.
that are the same or liked.
Yeah.
Of his, because you know there's this within the boys' school fraternity. Yes, a boys' school, but there's some
Some
boys'
of
schools
bishops.
that really don't like one another, right? But I know for a fact that this guy in his own business, and he's got a big business that only hires. You know who he is. Only hires people from a particular school.
Yeah, no, that's
What school,
what.
if you ask? What school?
I'm not gonna. That's leading too close to the
Yeah,
fire there.
but no,
They're gonna get burnt.
that's not new. Like I've seen, I know, because my ex boss or ex boss, whatever, he's a ex bishop's boy, and that's just comms, bro. You go to the old boys meetings, you go drop your kids off at the same school that you were at, and you speak to your mate that
Something
you've known
common,
for
that,
years.
yeah.
that you know for years, and he's now CEO of some massive consultancy company, maybe in finance or whatever.
In Claremont, yeah.
Yeah, and then it just for some reason,
It's like a double up.
for some reason, he just pops up on your LinkedIn, and now you guys are now following each other, and
Yes.
now you get going, and now you're
Yeah.
having a bribe because you were LinkedIn buddies, but you're
Yes.
also buddies at school,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden your son has now got a degree in BCom,
Yeah.
and then he finds himself working.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
been it's a thing that
Yeah,
it's
but,
been, bro.
but some people takes a long time to get work after they've done degrees. Some people have it
Yeah,
easier, some
nah.
people have it much more harder. Because mustn't forget, we obviously
True.
come from, let's be honest about it, we obviously come from a generation whereby things weren't given to us, we had to work hard for it. So
Yeah.
obviously, some people were already established, so people much more easier, but some people had to work hard for the way they are.
Yeah,
where they
true.
were. So,
I won't take that away from anyone as well, bro. Like this, I think the percentage of the guys that are working hard for where they have to be is definitely higher than the percentage of guys that are getting the gelukkies.
I mean,
I could put
I
it
would
in a
say-
10%. Like I could put it maybe in like a 20% there. Like the school.
I
Because
would-
also,
I
you know,
would
we
say
forget
the
this
percentage
university
of
as
people
well.
the percentage of people that have to work hard is more than the percentage of people that don't have to work hard.
And yes,
So that will distort the you know the final figures. But at the end of the day, even and it doesn't even come down to like maybe even what school. It's like how you are linked to a particular school.
yeah,
Because I know, like, I was at Berkeley, right? So Berkeley's my school, but because of coaching and this and the other, and
You were
false play and this,
LinkedIn.
all of a sudden, oh, you coached here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's about
and
who
you
that element of it's about who you know.
who you know. So it's not even
Uh,
it's, but a link to a particular school will definitely put you in the right standing.
definitely,
Whether it is
definitely.
this is your bra, or whether you coach there, or
Yeah.
whether you know a couple of people in that sort of fraternity.
Yeah, that never worked for me, but anyway, yeah, what you saying.
It never worked for you.
No.
Not
I
at
had
all.
to work hard for wherever I was, bro, I swear.
No, look, I'm not
I'll tell you-
saying
okay,
that
I'll
you
tell you a
I'm not saying that
story.
you
I'll tell
don't
you-
have
I'll
to
tell you a
work hard.
story.
I'm saying that an opportunity arises for you that may not arise for somebody else who doesn't know them. I'm not saying that it came as a geluk. I'm not saying that you didn't have to work hard. I'm just saying that you, by chance, because you know
By
this
chance.
person,
But it's the
You were
same.
given
It's
that
the same as
opportunity.
when we applied for the coaching position last year at Fisher. So I applied for the coaching role, and
he was there.
applied.
I applied later on. Then
And he applied later.
And I notified him to apply. I applied to
So, how did you find out?
I think from
On
some of the
Facebook.
boys. Some of the boys saying like, yeah.
At the
Oh, it was thinking was coaching with the force coach. Was saying, yeah, you doing the force coach in the morning, all this stuff.
Adam.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Adam. Yeah. So I applied for the
Mm.
backline position at Fisher. I wasn't gonna do head coach because
And
Adam
eventually
wasn't-
became head coach.
And
but,
then the head coach at the time decided he's got too much on his plate, so he's gonna step down. And then I said, look, the current head of sports, I know
don't
her.
mention the name.
Yeah, I know the person
Yeah.
there, and used to be
current
like
guy.
used to be
I'm scared of that lady, bro. I'm scared of that lady.
used to be a coach, used to be my running coach as well as my long jump coach and stuff like that. And like we had like good success within that period with Sasa and not Sasa, with
He gets a
inter
grant, that's why.
schools.
He gets a grant from Sasa, that's why. he's
Inter-
there.
I was wondering
Inter
where
schools.
does Sasa come into this whole thing.
Inter schools
That's the best thing
athletics.
about his money is gonna go draw afterwards.
And you actually need to go draw money. And I got the position. I shifted up, and then Cogs came in, but he has experience.
It's decent, bro.
You know, he has experience. He's been there with the big boys.
Man, I'm chill, bro.
And he eventually it was between him and someone else, and I said,
Who
look,
was?
I don't know,
Okay,
it
I'll
was-
ask him afterwards.
it was someone else. I can't remember who, but I said, look, I mean, we
Was it
played.
somebody also that was from there or known in the circles?
It was someone that was known in the circles,
Okay.
but because we play rugby together for some
Was
time,
it? Okay, I'll ask him afterwards.
I said go go with Nathan.
Oh,
Because I know obviously like Nathan and I we've grown pretty much. I think you could say grown up together since we were
Since 12,
since
11,
12,
12,
yeah. So I know his career, his background, who he is, where he's played. So I mean, now I must build a relationship with someone new.
It's different.
It's different. I've known this guy and I know I know how he plays. So we kind of understand.
Because now, if it was someone else must gel with someone else, then must gel, make a team that have chemistry.
Yes.
So now it's just too much. Man.
And that's what I immediately I was like, look, I would rather go with Nathan, knowing what I'm gonna get. Where if I had to now, say for example, I don't know you for Bath so, but you are a rugby player and you've played whatever. Now we start coaching together. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but that means I'm gonna have to now put extra off-field work into our coaching relationship.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like, cool, let's link up for breakfast, have a chat, let's plan. But now we're putting in extras just to build that understanding of what each other wants. You see, so that is probably the perfect example of schooling connections. Who you know.
I want to end it on that bombshell and this little bit of corruption that just shits your life.
South Africa #SA.
They just proved that live that it's not what you know, it's who you know.
He did apply.
It was the process.
It was the process.
You had to work hard to get there. Guys, please like, subscribe, share, and join us again next week for another episode of Talk.